watch out, things are gonna get Honestly, man, when you got a project with this much hype, there's no need for a long, in-depth intro because my emotions going into it is pretty simple. You know, it better be hard. That's just what it is. Up to this point, it feels like 21 Savage and Drake can do no wrong, especially when they're on the same track together. Now, I've been off Twitter for the past couple hours because I don't want anything spoiled for me going into this project. Nothing. You know, I don't want to hear others' opinions. I just want to see for myself. Already, I'm surprised that we got 16 tracks and an hour runtime for this. I was thinking maybe 10 tracks, 45-minute runtime, but, you know, hey, you ain't gonna hear me complaining. Look who we got. I'm not complaining at all. Who this? Drake, 21 Savage. Her loss. I mean, it's always got to be that way. It's always going to be that way until the end of time. It's never the opposite. I'm always the catch. I'm the prize. Track 1, Rich Flex. And I can't even hide my smile, bro. I'm too excited. I'm too excited. Hold on.
Buy a zip of weed, hit the club, pay for about 10 niggas to get in. We crunk with any bitch.
I know Nudie when I hear him.
Push.
Oh my God.
21, can you do something for me? Can you hit a little Rich Flex for me? Do your thing, 21, do your thing. Do your thing.
Come on, 21.
This shit costs a lot. Never send a bitch on die. That's how you get shot. I DM in vanish mode, I do that shit a lot. You ain't ready to pull the trigger, don't clutch it. I know you on your period, baby. Can you suck it? I'm a savage. I might slap a track on this whip and get the ass. Don't call me on bitch. Call your dad, only use they feet. Paid like an athlete, I got all you hoes, all of you hoes.
I'm gonna let it play, but Drake just ruined a good thing right there. It was going great. It was going great. Okay. Is this Drake?
That's just what a nigga
No, he did not, bro. He did not, bro.
Kiss me in the club, fuck a TMZ. I used to want a GMC when I was doing B&E with DMC. I lay up with her for a couple days, then it's BRB. Rappers love asking if I fuck for the cake. Get a lot of love from 12, but I don't reciprocate. 51 division, stay patrolling when
Stop it. Yes, you do. You do reciprocate. You're paying them.
See Drake and they underestimate. Take it from a vet, that's a rookie ass mistake. Hey.
This definitely a 21 beat for sure. I don't know. And it's a good I don't know. It's not a bad I don't know. 21 did what 21 always does on this track, but Drake is the one who kind of surprised me. He came on a little bit different. It seems like he's trying to be a chameleon inside of 21's world, which I kind of anticipated going into this, but I don't know how much of that we're going to get on this track list, on this project, I mean. So I kind of just want to go to the second track. But honestly, Drake on the latter part of this record, I'm not going to say I could have did without, but I thought he was going to bring a different kind of energy to this record here. Maybe stay on the same beat. It really didn't need to switch up in my opinion, but it still came out as a somewhat good track. I'm not going to skip it. But I think if this project goes how this first track went, I think 21 is going to eat. 21 is going to eat good on here. And he deserves it because he been eating for 5 years straight. I like how Drake slid that Southern flow in there. I feel like that was a great way to pay homage to all Southern acts. I feel like he kind of has to do that on this project here because he has 21 as a collaborator on it. I'm not gonna say I loved it, but I do like the fact that he paid homage in that way. Track 2, Major Distribution. Got a nigga wanna sing to me now?
Fucking with your friend and she ain't tell you y'all ain't shit for real.
I know a lot of women that ain't tell their friend that they fucked the same nigga. Is definitely feeling some type of way about that bar. And y'all should. Because he's right. Y'all ain't shit.
For like my car fight. Know you're tired, we just did dinner. They got to hold up on a team chain. Seem like they may need money for coffins. Cuban girl, a family grind coffee. Numbers, it's a robbery. 500 million just for Aubrey.
Nigga tried to play the shit light. Play it cool, play me like I'm sweet. Fucking on the op, nigga bitch. Say she missed the goals in my teeth. Steve Francis, shoot his feet, got him doing dances. Wigging niggas like I played at Kansas. Ever seen somebody get shot? Everything except for call a car. Savage still let his gun pop. Fox 5 gang, get you knocked. Major distribution, like body. We was face to face, you could've shot me. Okay,
oh God. See, this is the thing, right? Like, I don't want to be the person that speak too soon. It's just shaping up like 21 Savage is going to be nonchalantly bodying Drake on this whole shit. Because it's like he's not even trying. He's not trying. He's just being 21 Savage. You know, he's not trying to convert into something else. Being that's what Drake is doing on this entire project so far. I'm saying the entire project, like I'm not only on the second track. 21 Savage just does what he does so great, and it's so consistent. It's like you gotta listen to every lyric, even though he's not the most lyrical person ever, but you still just want to wait to hear what he has to say because it all makes sense at the end of the track. Everything 21 said is a caption. For some reason, I don't know why, and I can't explain to you why that is. Like the first track, it was easy for me to say that was a 21 Savage type beat, but this isn't that at all, and he still did the same thing on it. It still had the same effect. That shit was crazy, though. I can't even lie to you, bro. Like, that shit was wild. I'm looking straight into the camera saying that shit was crazy. Drake, what's up with the Bad Bunny shot on there, man? What's up with that? Wait, is he saying that's a robbery, like he's robbing the fans, or is he saying like he's robbing the streaming services? Track 3 on BS. I'm assuming that's bullshit. On bullshit. Oh yeah. You gonna see me get big after this album.
Me no good, I come from the ghetto, so my trunk is in my hood. She went when I fuck the nosebleeds, baby, come sit on this wood. If you know it's tension, don't come around the streets.
All time to get exposed, you ain't bad from around here, nigga, come get off your show, Savage.
She from overseas, I had to buy her a new visa. Met your wife in Vegas, but I hit her in a visa.
Yo, bro, that's the ultimate tricking right there. If you buy a girl a visa, that means she can stay here forever. Yo, you just bought her freedom, my guy. Yeah, nigga, bro, that's worth 1,000 Birkins.
All the Adderall, I feel like I could lift a tree up.
See too many cameras, so I never lift my ski up. On that bullshit, on that bullshit.
If he had his tongue on that lobby, be alive again, damn. I blow $500,000 on you hoes. I'm a feminist, I never put no prices on them.
On that bullshit, on that bullshit, on that bullshit.
Listen to 21 in the boy. That's what we do in Paris.
Y'all ever seen what Kevin Hart does, those speeches or toasts, whether it's at the Rock Nation brunch or whether it's before somebody's show, even before his show, wherever, you know, there's some alcohol around and there's famous people. I feel like Kevin Hart always finds his way in the middle of a speech or a toast. And I don't know why that is, because, you know, whatever he's saying doesn't make any sense. And it's really not that motivating, but it is because it's Kevin Hart. And, you know, I think that's what this dude sounded like on the end of this track here. You know, I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but hey, man, it sounded good at the end of this track. See, I don't know about that track because I like the production on it. I like the production a lot, but I don't know, the hook kind of threw me off, even though I like it a little bit, but then I don't like it because it's just 21 Savage saying I'm on bullshit. But like I said, that's what 21 does the best. You know, he's not saying shit, but it just sounds good and it's catchy. Drake's verse didn't really do much for me. It just sounded like he was going on and on and on. It just sounded like he was talking. Of course, he has, you know, one-liners in there, but I don't think there's anything in there that really stood out for me. It seems like this is a track that's just there in my opinion, but it's catchy though. Track 4, Back Outside Boys. When has this nigga Drake never been outside? Like, I don't understand. Like, this nigga's never been in a relationship his whole 15, 20-year career. And the thing is about that is that I support it, of course, because I'm the same way, but I'm also 15 years younger than Drake.
Back outside, boys, told me 70 on the strip, I'm ready to die.
Damn, I thought that was Thug. This nigga sound like everybody but Drake on here.
Fucking rap, niggas hoes, I'm on the street, this shit sweet. I ain't half a million. The number was high as me, I ain't gon' lie. I was fucking with this little wall, I think she buy.
Who the fuck is that in the background?
Try to bring the John, tell me he ain't know how we cha-cha slide. I'll never lose sleep over no bitch, way too much pride.
Oh, okay. Yachty, okay.
For the president, I never voted once. Yeah, if I did, I would vote Donald Trump. If you play with
me too.
I
don't know what it is about Drake's flow on this project so far, but it sounds like he's not even really there. It sounds like he's on autopilot. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's still flying. It's still flying to its destination without you having your hands on the wheel. But you know, I don't know. I just want more from Drake on these verses. I want him to rap about more shit. And I don't want to compare him to Jay in this respect, but I am going to do it. You know, when you listen to Jay-Z and you're just listening to every single bar because you want to hear what he's saying. There's something important there in between the lines. Here, it's not really much of that. It's just Drake rapping on and on about shit that he's already rapped about. And not necessarily saying that Drake has been the most thought-provoking artist there is, but he's always given me a reason to listen closely, and he's not giving me that right now. Like I said, it just sounds like he's a ghost within this project. 21 Savage is giving me more to listen to than him. I think every beat that's been on this project has been different thus far, but has still been able to have that same motion going with it throughout this whole album. I feel like this beat needed 21 Savage on it. I'm sorry. It just did. It needed him. Why wasn't he on this? Track 5, Privileged Rape. Ooh. Privileged Rappers.
Look at me dead in my eyes, I know that you know
Come
that
on.
nigga ain't lying.
Come on, nigga.
Too much respect. I used to hand out CDs before they would buy it. Well, she let me so through it. I hate a privileged rapper that ain't had a hit since she signed through it. Niggas be full of excuses that they taking their time.
A lot of rappers gonna get mad at that line, and I feel like if you do, you should, because this is one of those instances of where if the shoe fits, then wear it. You see a lot of rappers out here, well, not even just rappers, just artists in general that feel entitled to something just because they're signed to a label or just because they've made it to a certain point. I feel like Drake right here is speaking on something that he's seen going on in the industry for a long period of time, ever since he started rapping. And I feel like he tired of seeing that shit. Like, why are y'all niggas entitled? Y'all not even half the person I am. You're not even half the creative genius I am. And you feeling entitled to what? I feel like this is a situation where you really got to tip your hat off to Drake, because even if you like his music, you don't like his music, you hate his music, he works hard. Like, that's one thing you can't take away from Drake in the totality of his career, is that he's worked hard to get to where he is. You know, it wasn't by accident.
Too many sticks. How was that your ops and none of them died? Pussy. Hold up. Hold up.
Damn, 21, I thought it was put the guns down. I don't agree with the internet. I don't agree with him.
How you come over the spot when you know it's your time of the month? How? Make a diss and see how fast you go from the boot to a blind. Pussy. She say she hungry.
No, let's have sex in the
Yo, 21 is eating, bro. I'm sorry. I want to say that's my favorite track on here so far, but I know it's going to change, so I'm not even finna. I'm going to just write it down and say that's one of my favorites. And this is what I'm talking about. Drake actually made me listen on that track. He was actually talking about something, even though he was being braggadocious in that. You know, I feel like Drake always has a little hint of that in there. He's always got to brag a little bit while giving us game. And then 21 just come on and just go straight off topic. Like, but it's fine though. I don't know how to explain it, but he just creates another world within these tracks. Even if Drake tries his hardest to come into his world, which he's doing right now, it's not going to sound the same as 21 Savage. Like Drake can take from everybody he wants, but I think he's doing this project with 21 because he can't steal from him. There's no way he can do what 21 does better than him. We can't get his shit from nobody else. I don't know why I can't talk. Like, it's really blowing me right now. I feel like this is the first track where I feel like their lyrics actually pulled through rather than the beat overpowering them. Well, I won't say them. I'm going to just say Drake, because I feel like every 21 feature on here so far has been great. Track 6, Spin About You. I don't know what it is, but it seemed like this album going by fast as hell. What's going on?
When you was young and in school, he had to pop your chair, but I got it wet like a pool. She got a new G-Wag, she wanted a page, what's your Finsta? I wanna know the real you. You started dancing to pay your tuition, girl, I wanna know what you been through.
The way you make me feel these days. So I gotta respect you. Niggas putting hands on you in the past, insecure because your body is pressure. You know how it goes when they can't get a reservation up in Carbone. They gon' tell you it's a chill night, tell you how they rather stay home. Don't get drunk for your baby girl.
Baby girl. Honestly, as far as chemistry, I feel like this is the most of that they've exuded on a track together. I feel like this is a track where both of their styles just come together like a magnet. Like you just can't separate them. 21 doing this thing on the front end of the track, but not doing too much, but doing just enough. And then Drake coming on with the vocals and it just meshing together so well. The transition was great. I ain't gonna lie though, man. Like, Drake make you feel like a piece of shit if you in a relationship and you broke at the same time. He's just letting niggas know, like, bro, if you broke, you can't fuck with me. Like, he's just making you seem so small if you don't have the amount of money that he has. I'm not saying I feel small because I'm comfortable in my own skin. But all these other niggas that he's talking to personally, he's fucked their women personally. You know, I can see why y'all a little mad. I can see why that is. That sample that was just creeping in underneath this entire cut, I don't know, it just spoke to me, man. Hopefully we get some more of that, because that's why I like those Savage Mode projects, just because of the samples that's underneath the cuts. And then 21 Savage just bringing that raw energy towards the tracks. Track 7, Hours in Silence.
In due time, I think that I buy how much paying the bills. I don't even need a deluxe. My stomach is flat as fuck. She still for that shit in the dust. I'm high. The fat ones are winning the bus. I'm high.
That's a bar.
On my way, cause a lot of broke niggas run away.
This one of them late night joints.
The one you group chat gets to read. The one you come and tell to me. I understand it finally. It's my fault for once I take accountability.
No, you don't.
The other night for everything you're taking to the grave. You don't.
You know what, man? I'm gonna just cut off all my hoes after that record. You know, because we have no chance. According to Drake, we have no shot out here. Even though I love this side of Drake when he dips back into that bag of all of his vintage styles that he has, or the styles that he's created over all of these years. You know, it's always hard for me to feel him because he's singing about rich nigga problems. You have a great amount of women to choose from. How are you not able to find love? You're doing this to yourself. You're the nigga that said that you date 4 women because you have to create one perfect woman out of all of their emotions so you can feel whole. Like you're the one that said that. So I feel like the whole ways are kind of moving past him, man. It's gonna be a point where you can't sing about this shit anymore. Like, who's really breaking your heart? Because in one song he'll say, someone broke my heart, but in another song he'll say, bitches can't break my heart because I'm that nigga. Which one is it, Aubrey? Track 8, Treacherous Twins.
My treacherous little twin, and you know that we locked in, and I love you like my kin. It's whatever for you. I would toe tag somebody for your mama, dog, and they block disappear. That's some karma, dog.
Who can I depend on like you know? I don't show ID at clubs cause they know that I'm 21.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Would you die for me? Would you go in niggas' nest like a tie for me? Do the time for a time you didn't do for me.
All right, we halfway through the track list, so I feel like I can speak on this now. I kind of wanted to let it linger for a little bit just to see if it would change throughout, but it seemed like that's the formula for this project, for 21 to be sort of a feature instead of, you know, them being a duo for this project. I thought they would share the lion's share of the records, you know, basically, you know, have the same amount of time on each record, but it sounds like Drake is pretty much carrying this entire thing purposefully. It sounds like he's kind of pushing 21 to the background, especially when it comes to like these last 2 or 3 records. I think when the album first started off, it came off more as a duo concept and not Drake being the forefront of everything. But it kind of sounds like Drake is trying to make himself the focal point of this project, and he's not letting 21 Savage shine like I feel like he should. Like, even just having 21 sing on the Hours in Silence record, I wasn't really a big fan of that because I know he could have done more with that record. If 21 wasn't going to be the focal point of this project, I kind of wanted it to be a battle back and forth between them of who was going to get a lion's share of the credit or be on a big part of these records. But it sounds like Drake he's the one that's driving this boat, and not 21 Savage, even though he's kind of pulling from 21 Savage's world, and kind of mixing his in between that. It was a cool record though. Didn't really understand the concept, but it's a cool record. Track 9, Circo Loco. Wow, they really used this sample? I'm sleep.
I've been blowing through the money like you blowing trees. I've been fucking on a French bitch, c'est la vie. This bitch lie by getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling. Every night, late night, like I'm Jimmy Fallon. Crows shoot from anywhere like you Ray Allen.
He wouldn't do that. Not when your fan base is pretty much 75 to, I would say, 80% female. There's no way you're doing that.
This bitch lie by getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling.
We don't know what happened. There's no way he just said that, but there is a way because he did just say it. It's crazy to me because we don't know what the fuck happened. Unless Tory told him some shit. I mean, they both from Canada. I'm pretty sure they sat down and smoked some hookah together and, you know, pretty much went over play by play of what happened. But you gonna take his word? That wasn't even like a subtle shot. That was like a shot where, no point intended, but that was a shot where we all knew who the fuck he was talking about. Like, why are you putting yourself in the middle of that? You seem like a person that would never do that. Like, why are you doing that in this situation? I feel like Tory's story had to be the most believable thing ever for him to put this in a record. Like, it's something that you couldn't lie about, something that you couldn't make up that happened that night that Drake heard about to fucking say this on the record. You have a 75 to 80% female demographic that loves you. That's pretty much probably going to turn on you now. They might not do a 360 on you, but Well, I mean, a 180 on you, but they might do a 360. I know the internet going crazy right now, though. I just know that for a fact.
Learn enough. Shorty said she graduated, she ain't learned enough. Play the album track 1, okay, I heard enough. Put her on the team, got a great bench. Linking with the ops, bitch, I did that shit for Jay Prince. Bitch, I did it for the Maltese. Feel like 17.
Yo! I guess he gotta say that now because of what Kanye's doing, but you don't have to do shit for nobody. Like, damn, who the fuck made Jay Prince the motherfucking... Who the fuck made him the prince, literally? I know mob ties, all that. I know he helped Drake early on, but you don't owe nobody shit. And why are they making this beef so much like it's like a street beef? Like, him and Ye weren't gonna do anything to each other. Like, they could have just coexisted in different spaces, but why is he linked up with my ops? Jake, bro, Drake, you don't have any ops, bro. We all know this. Y'all both are damn near billionaires. Kanye's a billionaire. If it's just for entertainment, that's cool. But it seems like it's not just for entertainment, and these dudes really don't like each other, but they're trying to make it seem like something bigger than what it is. Like, that's just it. Y'all just don't like each other. There's no gunfire being shot. See, I don't push shit past nobody, though, so I need to stop. I don't push it past nobody, but I do put this past Kanye, though. We don't care about this shit anymore.
Top bins like it's 03. Had the shooters aim down from the nosebleeds. Gotta get this passport, keep my nose clean.
This is the one thing I was scared of when I seen the whole album with Drake and 21 Savage. One of the things I was scared of is that 21 Savage can have a bad verse. He's putting himself on a limb to have a bad verse. This is so far-fetched from anything I thought they was gonna rap over that, you know, I take that shit back now. I take 21 Savage can't rap over everything. It's definitely the laziest track on this project. It seemed like Drake was more interested in making headlines rather than making a good song. Track 10, Pussy in Millions, featuring Travis Scott.
Mine on pussy in millions, mine on pussy in millions.
I'm with you.
You know the procedure. Niggas is pretty in that guy, so we stay with the sweet boy.
Chains on my neck, no Kenta. You the type of girl I pay rent for.
Oh my God.
Only sign in the game, we the new Lucy and Grange. Breaking the records, more money, more problems.
Bro, what's up with the mixing? I feel like that's a record I might have to go back to because off first listen, I want to say I hated it. I feel like the mixing was off. I feel like 21 Savage felt a little bit out of place on that record. Kind of the same way I felt about him on the last record. I just feel like Drake is putting him in positions where he's not thriving, especially on these last 2 tracks. Like I said, when this album first started, it felt like he knew exactly where to put 21. 21 was delivering his verses in a very 21 Savage way. But now it seems like he's trying to conform to what Drake is trying to pull off instead of Drake going into his world. Like, I like what Drake did with the first half of the hook. When he went into his verse, he kind of lost me a little bit. I had a feeling that Travis was going to come and switch up some shit. But the mixing didn't get that. It actually got worse when Travis came on the record. It sounded like something that was sent in instead of something they did in the studio together, which I'm kind of surprised about because being that Drake and Travis have a diamond record together, I would think they would want to top that and not just make a song that's just going to pass you by. I feel like this is going to be one of those where it's a song that's going to get played because of the names attached to it, but it doesn't seem like it didn't move me like I thought a Travis Scott and Drake song would at this point. Track 11, Broke Boys. I feel like I'm going to get mad while listening to this because I'm not a broke boy, but I'm pretty close.
Where this shit about to go? You alone at the top, but it's gotta be lonely below.
I got more stripes than Adidas.
Yeah, I got the stripes, but fuck Adidas, nigga.
I don't chase.
Hey man, there goes any type of Adidas sponsorship that Drake would be able to secure at this point. Wasn't he supposed to do some shit with Adidas with his son and all that?
Sneaky issue with me. You must be Coach K cause you ain't P. He's fist in my hand like I'm playing a Wii. G-Block babies are spanking for free. Born in October, I'm so OVO. Halloween coming, you wanna drink. She called me mute cause I stay in her throat. Still hit that boy.
Oh my, every time, bro.
Savage snatch you out your crib, they ain't drop you in a hearse. Dumb as fuck. Imagine if I did that stupid shit when I was coming up. I can't talk to bro boys. Yeah, I can't talk to bro boys. I can't talk to bro boys.
When them keys come in.
Condo, y'all be make believing. I cannot relate to you.
Whatever the word is, that's the opposite of humble is what Drake is giving us on this record right here. And honestly, I feel like he has the right to call out these niggas. You know, especially if you're living with your girl. You know, you can't live with your girl and you're 30-something years old. I feel like you can get away with it up until you're about 26, 27, maybe about that time. But even then, you pushing it. 28, you know, no. It's something about 28 that says you can't live with your mom or your girl. It's just something that says that. It's something about that number. See, this record right here is exactly what I want from 21. I don't need him to rap over One More Time. I don't need any of that shit. For what? What for? You haven't done this your whole career. Why do we need it now? Don't change it, Drake. Stop fucking with it. We don't want to hear him over that. We want to hear him on this. We don't want to hear him over Party Records because that's not who he is. Get Quavo for that. Track 12, Middle of the Ocean.
Boat was rocking too much on some Aaliyah shit.
Stop.
Me Tomazo and Ernesto. Short rigatoni with the pesto. These verses are my manifesto. In our hood, they be like, why the fuck you making techno? I'm worldwide and this is just another cargo jet flow. I had to let go. Life and you niggas about to need the gecko. I got some meaner threats though. 59 bags on a 767. This is heavy cargo.
Nigga love that plane.
She wanna rebound with me. I'm down to go get her some boys. I'm here for the moral support. Whipping the best
ball. No, he didn't sample this.
My latest stuff might be the only teacher that gets paid enough. That's why I'm in Hyde Park buying like half a hairs. Your outfits gon' match in pairs. If we don't like you, you pay your tax and tears. For me, no chance the kid will make it here like vasectomy. They underestimated my trajectory. 8 carrots like vegetarians, nigga. The earrings are droopy. Contract Lord of the Rings. Think it's a script for the movie. Shout out TV Gucci, my cousin is spooky. Sidebar, Serena, your husband a groupie. Oh, we don't got a problem, but
why is he throwing shots like this? I'm not understanding. Niggas really been making Drake mad over the years, and he just been bottling it all up for this. He been waiting to tell your husband that he a bitch. Damn, bro, like I was kind of mad too when that happened. I wasn't pulling for Drake, but I wasn't pulling for that nigga.
Birthday, your man got a table at Hibachi. Last time I ate there, Wayne was doing numbers off the cup like Yahtzee. And
we get it. You rich, nigga. We get it.
The way that these dimes stick to me, they should have been in the fountain based on what y'all wishing me.
Oh God.
Yeah. Middle Ocean.
Oh.
Just like that.
God, bro. This nigga Drake really up there. If you can clear these samples, you gotta be up there. Them not the joints you can just and then be like, oh, here you go. No. You have to go through a process to clear those. And why the fuck wasn't 21 on here? This is the best track on the album by far. I love when Drake raps, and I love when he gives off this type of energy. Even if he's going at people that aren't necessarily going at him publicly. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but, you know, it seems like this album, he's just bullying motherfuckers. I like when he's in this mode. I like when he feels threatened. You have to listen to everything he said on that record, because every couple seconds there was another bar that you had to catch. This is one of Drake's best songs. I don't give a fuck. Let me go on to the next one. Track 13, Jumbotron shit popping. Guilty on the beat.
My F and then we like to hold hands. Both was too sick, nah, he ain't need a bed. Bitch, it's my fave, I'ma gon' beat it. Looking in the mirror, kiss my face, I'm too conceited. Shit lit up like a glow lamp, who won't smoke? Okay, cool, let's stay whole camp. Big shit pop if we don't want to get your shirt down. 4 voting on that, so just gon' did it. See me when you see me, if it's smoke, dog, you unleash it.
This track just seems like a filler, and it seems like he just wanted to put this on here to bring more attention to himself. It seems like he's using 21 as sort of a promotional tool for this album. I'm not saying that's the end all be all for how I feel about this album or how I feel he's used 21 throughout, but it's just something that I thought about in my head. It was like, damn, like, why isn't 21 more of the attention grabber on these tracks instead of a Drake who's already solidified and who's already looked at as a legend? And well, he is a legend. No, even though you are doing him a favor by doing a project with him, why not put him in the forefront? This to me is literally just another Drake track of what the title says, just shit popping shit. And I feel like this album, even though it has room for that, I think 21 should be a part of that. And that's my biggest pet peeve about this project so far. Track 14, More M's.
Metro!
Oh, finally. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get to the paint, take it to the rim. You look good on camera, baby, let's go make a film. You better cook like you are Asian. Wrote a lot of verses, but I never wrote no statement. I've been in the rooms I've been seen up with a nigga, wave my hand, I'm like, hey friend. Looking at the shade room, that shit be straight like a match. Knock him out his hat, knife to a gunfight, this ain't none of that. Boy, they keep working, dishing on his album and it flop, he deserved it. Come up out that booth and bring that energy in person. 5 hours in the stadium, what happened to that nigga claiming OVO, we traded him. Thought I was a pop star, I'm
Who you talking about? Shit so spooky, man. Just look at this track as a prototype of what I thought this whole entire album was going to be based around. Thought Metro Boomin was going to be somewhat of an executive producer and produce most of the tracks on here because he brings that spooky side out of 21 that we all know and love, and he brings the best out of Trap Drake, what we've seen on What a Time to Be Alive with Future. Like it just made sense for all of that to come together. Yeah, it may have been too easy, it may have been predictable, but it would have been good music. It would have been great music. It would have been a great moment. Like Metro literally brings the best out of both of them when it comes to music like this. Track 15, 3 a.m. on Glenwood. Now these timestamp records. Wait, hold on. It just say 21 though. I mean, I'm cool with that, but when I seen the track list, I thought it was gonna be a Drake record, honestly.
Whoa, I get rid of all the smoke like OZM. Shawty got that real jelly of petroleum. Niggas acting like my kids, and they be on the Grammy and I couldn't even show it to him. Put my face inside the lineup, niggas know that I'm him. Anybody speaking on my brothers got.
You know how everybody's saying I'm him? Like it can only be one I'm him. Like, I don't know if niggas understand that, but it can only be one I'm him. Everybody can't be him. Like some of y'all gotta be them. If everybody him, then I'm him as well. Nigga, I'm him too.
Hard bulletproof, you ain't got a mask, I can show you what a hoodie do. PTSD and I mean it. Nigga Johnny got killed and I seen it. To some real niggas from me, I could kill the whole world and I still won't be even. I be thinking about my brothers while I'm shopping in Neiman's. Real gangster, see my outside jump out and chase them. I ain't trusting white, nigga, I never mace them. Love for all my artists, nigga, I never mace them. Larry Tate, man, the CJ, you ain't one of mine. Braids on my neck, nigga, I ain't got no hang time. I'ma make amends.
Yeah.
Chasing him.
Yeah. I think the great thing about this track is that it showcases how down to earth 21 is. And I think us as listeners, we get brainwashed by all the, the violent lyrics and, what he usually raps about on a regular basis that we kind of forget about, what kind of person that 21 Savage is. And this song right here just sheds more light on that subject of 21 Savage instead of the violence that surrounds him. Track 16, I guess it's Fuck Me. Is this gonna correlate to the title? Because I still don't know who's losing in this situation.
So now what's the problem?
Is that Bank? Big Bank?
Not nice, I don't know polite. I'm the first ever anti-social socialite. Shout out to the people working 9 to 5. I be working 9 to 9. Truth or dare, I'ma take a double dare. Truth is a suicide.
All right, so there goes Drake ending off a Drake album in Drake fashion. How he always ends off his albums. It never fails. It never fails. Every time he's going to sing off into the sunset. That's what he does. But as the final track to end off this chapter of the Drake and 21 Savage series, I fuck with it. I'm not mad at it. The only thing I'm mad at is I'm going to keep reiterating the same point. I'm just mad that 21 Savage isn't on it. I'm just mad that he wasn't able to be a part of the finishing touches on this album. It seems like at this point in Drake's career, he's just having fun with shit. And I feel like if that's the case, then if you're having so much fun, then let the little niggas eat. Let the niggas that's coming up eat. And I feel like he didn't really give 21 Savage a full meal on this album here. And I thought that was going to be the opposite of things. I thought he was going to be the one eating less. And 21 was going to have the lion's share of the credit or the meal on this album. Just because Drake doesn't do collab albums. The only collab album he's done is with Future. And I would say they were pretty balanced on that album. I just don't understand why he didn't take that same approach with this album. I think just based off what I was expecting going into this project, I was a little disappointed. Not saying that I was disappointed with the entire project, but just saying that I was, disappointed in certain aspects of the project. It wasn't anything that threw me off per se, but it is some things in this project where I had a little bit of problems with, and I kind of want to start with that, and that's 21 not being the focal point of this project. Well, not even the focal point, but just being a larger piece of the puzzle when putting this project together. It sounded like Drake was in charge of putting this project together. It seemed like Drake was in charge of the whole rollout of this project and what songs were going to be on it. I could be wrong, but listen, I've been listening to Drake for a long time. I've been listening to 21 Savage for a long time, and I think there's certain records on here where I know 21 Savage didn't pinpoint. And I want to say that's not necessarily a problem if 21 Savage signed off on Drake being the conspirator of this project, the cultivator of this entire project. Just based on how this album started and how it finished, it sounded like they didn't really have a clear-cut idea for this project. It just sounded like they had a whole bunch of songs together. And I remember 21 Savage saying that he had a whole bunch of songs with Drake. I think it was a year ago, may even been 2 years ago, where he said he had some songs with Drake and he didn't know when they were going to come out. When it first started, it sounded like a project that was going to be cohesive. It sounded like a trap-based project, but once you get into like the middle and then towards the end, you start getting more singy-songy records. You start getting more Drake-esque records. It just sounded like Drake was the one that put the idea on it first and then sent it to 21 Savage, whereas the first 3 tracks on here, it sounded like 21 Savage was the one that cultivated that idea for Drake. I think underwhelming is the wrong term to use for 21 Savage's performance, because he did put on a good performance, but I think with this project, he didn't have enough reps to win the starting job for me. I think Drake, being that he had some solo songs on here, he took charge of most of the records. I think his performance kind of outweighed what 21 Savage did on here, but I think that's just by default because 21 Savage wasn't on the field long enough. I'm not sure what the hit is going to be on this project. It might be that song where he mentioned Megan Thee Stallion, but who knows? Who knows, man? This world is all fucked up. That might be the hit single just because he said that, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaving this not having like a clear-cut hit. And if I was to choose one, I think I would choose the record More M's with Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, and Drake, who I thought this whole album was going to be based around those 3. But, you know, I was wrong, and I should have been right. I know I'm coming off like this project was a disappointment, but it really wasn't. It was a cool project in my opinion. And if I got more thoughts on it, then I just make it. I got more. I'm gonna go outside, listen to it a little bit. I'm gonna listen to it around some females, see what they think about it. But just me sitting here, I think I'm gonna give it a grade of like I don't know. And I usually don't even do this, but I feel like in this instance I have to. I'm gonna give it a 7. Could be wrong. I could be a bitch. Let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments. It's not the best shit I've heard all year, which I kind of had the expectations of, but it's a cool project. Or this project, not to be a disappointment, is saying something, because I actually had high expectations for it. Like the video. If you want to subscribe. All I'm going to say is love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm gone.